Good day, I'm Jabertha Atkinson, and this is your JIS News for Friday, July 18, 2025. Nearly 8,000 Jamaicans have so far traveled for jobs under the Overseas Employment Program since the start of this year. Minister of Labour and Social Security Pernell Charles Jr. made the disclosure on Tuesday. He was addressing the latest group departing the island to take up employment opportunities in Canada under the Seasonal Agricultural Workers Program.
We have almost 75%, well, more than 75%, almost 90% that are returning, 10% new. And many going back to the same farms because they've done a stellar job and they have been requested.
The minister assured the farmers that he would soon meet with liaison officers to ensure they were conducting more farm visits and making themselves more accessible to workers.
Farm workers, we are paying for a service to protect you, to make sure you have people in Canada and in the US to help you. The liaison officers are there to make sure that you have someone to lean on, you have someone to call, you have an office that is there to make sure that your interest is served. Make sure you use it to your best benefit. Do not sit down and say to yourself, I can't, them no one help me, I can't get in touch with them. If that is happening, you must let your minister know.
The National Water Commission (NWC) is in the process of reviewing documents for the rehabilitation of the Hermitage Dam in St. Andrew. Acting President of the NWC, Garth Jackson, says the scope of work will involve extending the serviceability and design life of the dam. It's to include installation of the grouting and drainage screens, protection of the fault zone, rehabilitation of the intake tower pipework, repair of the walkway bridge, and installation of dam monitoring instruments.
In addition to that, however, we are actually in the process now of looking at an assessment of options for increasing storage at the Hermitage Dam. And that is going to involve, there are a couple of options we need to look at. We're going to look at whether we should raise the spillway level or whether we will need to install or to construct additional dams either before or after the existing Hermitage Dam.
The NWC president was speaking at a press briefing on Wednesday. The Jamaica Urban Transit Company, JUTC, is planning to launch new routes in the western end of the island starting September. Transport Minister Darrell Vaz revealed the plan on Wednesday during a ceremony to hand over 93 buses to the JUTC in Portmore.
We'll be doing Montego Bay to Savlamar, Lucy to Negril, Montego Bay to Cornwall Courts, Green Pond, Montego Bay to Lucy, and other upcoming routes in the pipeline, Savlamar to White House, and Falmouth to Wakefield. Further route assessments continue, Prime Minister, because we are going to reach into every nook and cranny of Jamaica to provide reliable, economic, and safe transportation for our citizens.
In the meantime, he reveals that Montego Bay Metro's fleet has grown significantly, moving from just 6 buses in August 2024 to 22 as of July 2025.
The growth trajectory is expected to continue, and they are expected to receive an additional 10 buses, which will be buses that are currently in the KMTR, that are going to be replaced with new buses, and they will get some of the buses that were bought last year or the year before.
Minister of Health and Wellness Dr. Christopher Tufton is advocating for Jamaica to take a more ardent approach to allowing persons who are capable to continue working after retirement age. The health minister argues that this must be a part of a mix of solutions considered for addressing the current reality of an aging population, low fertility rate, and the gaps in the labor force due to migration. This approach, he says, would be significant for the health sector.
I would like to see more of our retired nurses, for example, come back into the system in a more structured way, because I believe they have a lot to offer.
He suggests that the laws may need to be changed to allow for a limited number of hours for persons who have reached retirement and are able and willing to continue working.
There may need to be a secondary approach to our legislation around the labor laws to allow. I'll tell you, I've had, on any given year, I've had at least 10, 12 approaches by persons who have reached the legal retirement age of 65, who have appealed to me almost emotionally why they want more time. They're not so sure how they would go home to sit down and do nothing when they do believe they have the skills, the energy, and the drive to continue to do something.
Minister Tufton was speaking at the recent launch of the revised National Population and Sustainable Development Policy for the country. Groundbreaking for the National Stadium redevelopment is slated for August 2025, with full construction to begin next year. That update came from the Minister of Sport, Olivia Grange, during a press conference on Wednesday. The phased development is scheduled to span 3 years, completing in 2029. Minister Grange says the redeveloped facility will feature increased seating capacity, 90% roof coverage, tiered parking, and a range of other modern amenities that align with international standards.
The improved National Stadium is an investment in our athletes and will provide more comfort for people, for audiences and fans. And we must ensure that our facilities are in the best state for athletes to train and to perform. And we have also taken into consideration facilities for persons with disabilities.
The project is primarily funded by the government of Jamaica under a framework for cooperation with the United Kingdom. It includes a detailed economic and feasibility study to identify both the local and international market demand and economic viability.
I'm pleased with the work of the United Kingdom firms, Ryder Architecture and CAA Icon, and just to commend the team and the British High Commission for its support.
The stadium will remain open during construction, with phased development planned to minimize disruption. And finally, residents of Malcolm Heights in Lucy, Hanover, and the surrounding areas now have access to the rehabilitated Lord's Multipurpose Court thanks to the Spruce Up Jamaica initiative. It was spearheaded by the tourism product development company TPDCO, an agency within the Ministry of Tourism. During the handover ceremony recently, Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett praised the Spruce Up Jamaica initiative, which has delivered 365 community projects across the island.
So this is what real development looks like. This is a space not to be forgotten. That the people of Malcolm Heights matter. That's what she said to us. That the places where they gather, play, and grow are important as anywhere else in the country.
The Spruce Up initiative is a community-based tourism enhancement program that focuses on improving public spaces, restoring heritage sites, and enhancing cultural and recreational facilities while fostering community pride and involvement.
This court will be a training ground for our young athletes, a gathering spot for youth meetings, health fairs, and community events, and a safe central space for families to connect, cheer, and celebrate together.
And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Jabertha Atkinson. Thanks for watching.